I'm Christopher Small with The Art of Lawyering, the founder of The Art of Lawyering, and this is Ask Christopher Small, episode number 2. The question for today is, how do you give value to someone when you can't necessarily refer them business, when you can't necessarily send them a direct referral or direct business? A couple of days ago, I had the distinct pleasure of going and interviewing Keane Ng, which is episode 051 of the Art of Lawyering podcast. And we had a great time. We talked about the qualities of law firm owners and service professionals that go from $200,000 to $500,000 of annual net income, and then those that go from $500,000 to $5 million of annual net income. It was an awesome discussion, and I had a really great time. But what you didn't hear on the show is what happened after. So I know Keane personally. We've hung out a bunch, and he's a great person. He loves to talk about the stuff that we talked about on the podcast all the time, and so do I. So we kind of continued our discussion offline. We were talking about actually the reluctance of some attorneys to share what's working for them. And I was telling him how, attorneys kind of fall into two categories. Either they're really scared about losing what they have, or they're open and they're willing to share and they're willing to discuss ideas and learn from others as much as they take from others, or as much as they give, right? And by the way, I don't know if you can hear Piper in the background. He says hello. He's probably gonna bark again, but that's okay. But as we were about to leave, he said, wait a minute, come back to my office real quick. And we went back, and I looked, and I didn't notice this when we were in his office before, but on his bookshelf, he's got, I think maybe 2 or 3 different books, and he's got like 10 copies of each book. And he said, have you read The Entrepreneur Rollercoaster by Darren Hardy? And I said, no, I haven't read it yet. And he said, well, here, I want you to have this. It's a great book. I've just read it, and I think that you could get a lot out of it. And I said, thank you. I was very gracious. I was very excited to get a free book. And that's the lesson I want to talk about today, about, to remember to give and to set up opportunities to add value to other people's lives like that. Because it has a huge impact on the referrals that you're going to get, on the network that you build, if you are looking for opportunities to help other people and make them better. One of the things I do when I have my networking meetings is I send them a copy of The Go-Giver by Burg, which is one of my big books. And that's a book that I'm going to send Keane, actually. It's in the mail right now because he hadn't read it yet. We talked about it on the podcast. And that is just a perfect example of the way that you can add value to others without having to necessarily refer them business, which is something that I think we as lawyers struggle with. Sometimes the networking is one way, the deal flow is one way. Well, you can still add value to people by sharing your experiences, sharing your knowledge, and sharing the resources that you have that have paid off for you. So this week, find that opportunity to give someone in your referral network or just in your network something of added value that won't necessarily help you, but will help them because you've used it yourself. All right. Once again, I'm Christopher Small. This is with The Art of Lawyering. This is Ask Christopher Small. I'm copying off of Gary Vaynerchuk, and this is episode 2. And I hope you enjoyed it.